Oh, really? Singing?
I mean, me singing this song and this shirt is
sad.
like a double whammy. I always wanted to be in a boy band.
Who knows? This is not a boy band. Who knows who this is? He's never even been in a boy band.
Me?
This guy.
I've never been in a boy band.
No, this guy. Who knows what this song is? Hi, Angela. Angela, do you know who this is? I don't
Hey,
think Ryan
Sheldon,
knows.
I have no clue. Hey, Lindsay. When is the chorus coming?
Turn right now. I can
Hey,
listen to it
Brandon.
forever. Is it too late now to say sorry?
I did not choose this song.
More than just your body. If you get in trouble, it's kind of what happens.
Oh. I'm very rarely on this phone. Angela, I'm with you. I have no idea.
All right,
All right,
those of
who
you that
was
are
it?
popping on, hey Amy, hey Lindsay, hey Shelly, do you guys know who that was? Ryan thinks it's part of a boy band. It's not a boy band.
Sounded like
So
a boy
let's
band.
wait and see. I bet somebody will know who it was. Is it too late to say sorry? It's what our whole subject's going to be on tonight. We're so excited you guys are joining us here in Marriage Movement. If you don't know us, my name is Blair.
Justin
yes.
Bieber, thank you, Lindsay.
Yes, Lindsay, you are right. It's Justin Bieber, and he's never been part of a boy band. It's just Justin Bieber.
So we're talking about 5 fears that make it impossible to say I'm sorry.
Yes.
I think Blair just wanted to use that song.
I was really excited to use this song. I thought it worked.
I think you should say sorry for buying me this shirt.
Oh my goodness, we'll talk about that in a second. So hi everybody, I'm Blair. If you guys are new to Marriage Movement, we're so excited to have you guys in here. We've had so many new people join us. What's your name?
A lot of new people.
Hey Brett,
Hey,
we missed
Brett.
you last night.
I'm Ryan.
Yep, and this is Ryan, and we are Ryan and Blair. We are so excited you're here because we know that you guys are better
Together.
So tonight we're going to be talking about 5 fears that make it impossible to say I'm sorry. And I will start off by telling you
Ken Green.
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, it's Ken's birthday!
Happy birthday,
Everybody, blow it up in the comments. It's Ken
Sing happy
Green's birthday, and he is
Ken
on
Green.
Marriage Movement.
Of course he
Pretty
is.
impressive.
Why would he miss this?
I mean, right?
This is like the best birthday present ever.
Ken, should he wear this shirt
Ken,
in
you will
Jamaica?
not see this shirt in Jamaica, I
Brent,
promise you.
Jamaica, don't you think? So we have for my business, we earned an all-inclusive trip to Jamaica, and the theme is Under the Sea, right? So I don't know. Hold on. Oh, you took the shorts off.
I totally
They
took the
were literally
shorts
bathing
off.
suits that match, and I posted it online. Everybody thinks it's a onesie.
It looks like a
Lorenzo
onesie.
was like, is that a onesie?
Yeah, I love it.
So anyways, Ryan's not too
Thank you.
amused with me right now, and I probably need to tell him I'm
I
sorry.
don't mind wearing
wasn't,
certain things, but this
and
is
I
all-
wasn't going for like an embarrassing look.
This is
I
a
thought it
whole
really was
new
going to look
level,
cute.
Blair.
I really wasn't going for like that. Like, well, yeah, that's.
mean,
I wasn't
here-
going for that.
There you go.
It's not as
There's
good
your
as
chest hair you wanted.
it wasn't as good as what it looked like on the Nordstrom website.
Imagine that. Imagine
This is a
that.
big no. All right.
All right.
Oh, Ken
Yes.
says you should wear it.
Ken, so he can laugh at me all night. I got you. I got you, bro.
I want to see what Ken
Oh,
wears.
man.
It's amazing.
Wait.
Okay.
All right. So seriously, 5 fears that make it impossible. Next to
To say
impossible
sorry.
to say sorry.
So here's what I want you to think about too. This week we're going to be popping in here throughout the week, and we're going to be talking about popping. There's going to be random pop-ins. Talking a lot about sorry and things like he's going to Patrick for this one.
Nice. See, that's funny, and that's your fully
Send
covered.
me that. Send me that link. Okay. Sorry, we're getting distracted by hilarious stuff.
Yes,
So
totally.
this week we're going to be talking a lot about apologies. Sorry, it's really easy for some people, not so easy for other people. I also find that some people are really easy to say it to just end the situation and not have to deal with the situation, right? So I'm really excited about this subject tonight, and that we're going to be talking about 5 fears that make it impossible to say
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Hey, Paula. So one thing that you said there is that it's some people just say it to kind of flippantly end the discussion or whatever, but they don't really mean it, right? And I think that saying I'm sorry is a learned skill. I think you have to be secure. I think you have to be confident in who you are. You have to be feel a little bit of repenting, but that certainly wasn't how we started off
right, for
saying
sure.
our sorry. Did we?
No, for sure. When we
No.
first got married, sorries were usually like flip it, like sorry. I think I just spit when I did that. Sorry.
It's okay. No
like
problem.
it'd be like, sorry. Like, sorry, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Right? And that's not really an apology.
It's not an apology.
Right? Or I feel like your sorries were more like ignoring the situation and trying to move on and do something else. So I wouldn't
The
bring
old
it up or deal
cover
with
up.
it. Yeah.
The old
How many of you
cover
guys
up.
do that? The
I'm not gonna
best
say
one
I'm
was when
sorry,
it
Mom.
included gifts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I figured that out pretty early on. I was like, all right, I'll take the gift.
Right.
But
I would always go shopping, but that
right?
didn't really solve the problem.
It doesn't solve the problem. It just comes back and surfaces up again. That's why I love that we're talking about this, because fear really does play into it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite all-time analogies. No, I don't think it's not analogies. What's it called when you use the letters of words?
Start over. Acronym?
Yes, my favorite acronym for fear: false evidence appearing real.
Yes. I
Right?
like that, babe.
So
That's
what
a
are
good
the
name.
things? I didn't make it up, but
It's okay.
But I remembered it.
That's important.
So Ryan, let's start us off. What are the 5 fears that make it impossible to say, "I'm sorry"?
Hi, Natasha, Brandy, Lance, Lisa.
Hi, Natasha. You like Ryan's outfit? You have to go check out my Facebook. I tried to get him to wear this outfit for him to see. All right, let's go.
Laugh
Hi,
at my
Jen.
expense.
So
What
you
are we
want to
talking about?
start with number 1, the 5 fears that make it impossible
Yes.
to say sorry.
Number 1 survey says, speaking of which, we played this awesome game yesterday, remember?
Last night we play this really fun game, Family
It's
Feud.
Family Feud. Survey
What's your-
says,
Hold on, let me really quick. Let's ask him a question.
Okay.
I know, we're about
Let's
to start
ask
number
a
1. Sorry.
question.
But what do you think is one of the 5 fears? We did this with our kids tonight at the dinner table. It was really interesting because they actually got
Yes.
4 out of the 5.
so rather than try to pull teeth with our teenagers about what their school day was like,
Yeah, I, don't
I
like those
asked them a
conversations
question
anyways.
and answer. So what are, and I had to pay them, of course, because everything's bargaining with the
Mhm.
teenagers. So I asked them, what are the 5 reasons people give for saying sorry?
What are the 5 reasons you mean?
5 fear. Why are
Yeah,
they
the
afraid?
5 fears, right?
Clear it up for me, babe. That's
Sorry.
why you're here.
All right, so what are the 5 fears? What do you guys think they are? I don't see anybody dropping them below.
No.
What do you think some of the fears might be?
Is it too-
Oh,
Yes.
Karen,
Hey,
I
Karen.
love you.
Yes, yes.
According to Justin Bieber, I think it is too late to say sorry.
Yes, totally. Nobody's commenting, but it could
Yeah,
be late.
okay.
So, anyway.
So if you think of this and we haven't said it yet, still drop it below because it was really interesting to see what our kids thought were the 5 fears
Totally.
that people have for not saying sorry. So you go ahead with number 1.
Number 1, fear of being wrong. The admission of guilt. Always have to be right. I know that's a big one for me. I never want to be wrong. In fact, I love having Google at my fingertips so that now I can prove that I am right 99.9% of the time.
Yeah, that one is a hard one because this is
that's
actually
number
going to be really fun as you guys listen to these, and we'll type them below when we're all done too, so you guys can go back and look. But I mean, it's interesting as we go through these. I'm like, oh, that one's me. Oh,
Totally.
that one's me. Right.
So,
So,
fear of being
yeah,
wrong. That
for
was
sure.
number 1.
Number 1. Number 2, the fear of being. This is actually my number 1 reason why I don't say sorry sometimes. The fear of being weak. Interesting,
Yes,
right?
I
Because
agree.
I'm curious how many women
Hey, Kirk.
really don't want to feel weak and so they don't want to apologize, or how many men. I think it used to be probably more men than women, but now I think there's a lot of women too, and it's like that fear of looking weak by apologizing for something
Oh, I see what you're saying.
is, kind of scary, to be honest. And I hate to be weak. Like, I hate weakness, right? That's like one of the things that drives me
You do.
bonkers. So I don't like to have to say, that I'm sorry, because then I'm afraid that it's going to make me somehow look weak in the eyes of Ryan or my kids or somebody else. So that's
Right.
not the right reason, though, to withhold an apology.
No, I totally agree. Number 3 actually hit home more with me.
ironic.
Fear of retaliation. So like if and
Not like
not that kind of retaliation, but it was almost like if I admit that I did something wrong, I'm giving Blair license to do something in retaliation for that. So like, oh hey, if I did this, then maybe you'd be like, oh, since you did this, I'm gonna go do that.
Which actually is kind of ironic because I've never done that in our whole marriage.
I don't think you have.
No, like when
Ever.
Ryan went through his pill addiction, I never retaliated.
Hey,
with
Lindsay.
something. And when hi, Lindsay. And Lindsay, how do you like this
Lindsay,
shirt?
it doesn't matter. It's over.
So when Ryan went through his pill addictions, there was no like retaliation on my part. I was like, I'm going to go out and do this, right? Or I'm going to go take off for a week with the girls or anything like that, right? Or when we've gone through other things, I don't know that I've ever done that. Have I?
I didn't say that you did it.
No,
I
I'm
said
just saying,
that
but
it
that's
was
one
a
of your
fear.
biggest fears, which is ironic because one of his biggest fears is actually so false, right? Remember earlier when I said false evidence appearing real?
Right, totally.
Same thing with the weakness
It's all
one.
in your own head.
Yeah, with number
It
2
really
that I
is.
said is my biggest one is
Yeah.
appearing weak, right? And I think that goes back to childhood. If you look at your childhood, right? My parents always taught me to be a strong woman, independent woman. You don't need to cry. Be strong. all these things, right? They thought that they were helping me with, but in reality, now it's hard for me sometimes to say sorry because I don't want to look weak when Ryan has never valued my apology with weakness. And he's never made me feel like I'm not strong, right? So it's interesting.
It is interesting how those things are built into us from our childhood, from our experiences. I mean, in fact, I can remember saying, never admit that you're wrong. Right?
Oh, like saying, yes.
Never, ever admit you're wrong. Go to your grave denying, which is just so terrible for you.
What is that? That's from a movie. Deny. Okay. All right. Oh, Lindsay thinks it's hot.
Yeah. That's the blonde giggle. She's laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing right now.
All right, number 4. So remember, so far we said fear of being wrong, fear of seeming weak,
fear of retaliation.
Yeah. And now we're at fear of loss, right? If I admit that if I'm wrong, will I drive that person further away? Will they walk out on me? Will they leave? Will they, draw further away from me emotionally?
Yeah, this one was surprisingly the one that Noah, who's now 13, got, that I couldn't believe he got, because he said fear of losing their friendship, right? Which really makes it really makes sense, because when you're saying, hey, I'm sorry that I did that to you, you're admitting that you did it, it's validating it in there, so maybe they don't want to be friends with you anymore.
They might decide not to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fear of loss. I admit.
Right.
That I was wrong, you'll leave me, or it'll further drive you away.
Yeah. And what is number 5?
Drum roll, number 5, fear of not being perfect.
Ooh, is another one of mine.
That kind of combines with number 2.
It really does.
You can't be perfect if you're wrong.
And this is really interesting because underneath it said a glimmer of humanity. Most often, the most insecure people cannot say they're sorry. So, to me, it's a glimmer of humanity. It's interesting because I look at it more as weakness. Again, going back to weakness, to me that's weakness. But I also see that because if you're feeling insecure in that relationship, then you would be more skeptical to say sorry because again, it goes back to a lot of these other ones, right? I'm afraid I'm going to lose you, or I'm afraid that you're not going to value me the same. I'm afraid that you're not going to see me in the same light if I admit this to you. And so I can see how all those are wrapped together. Thanks, babe. Yeah. I can see how all those things are, wrapped up together. It's super interesting.
It is. So weakness, insecurity, a lot of them have to do with our own thoughts inside our own head, which like Blair said, it's what? False evidence appearing real, right? So it's just the monkey brain and these things and arguments and that we just, build up in our own head, and there's no reason for it. When 3 simple words like I am sorry could just solve the situation and move on.
Right.
So
I'm going to add a couple words to the I am sorry, okay? And some of you guys are going to love this. Some of you it might be uncomfortable for, but when you're apologizing to somebody, it's so easy to say, I'm sorry, right? We were talking about that at the beginning.
Yeah.
But instead, add what you're sorry for, right? And if you're a parent, I'm sure you do this to your kids, right? When they come around and they're like, well, I'm sorry. What are you sorry for? Explain to your brother what you're sorry for. Explain to me what you're sorry for, right? And so as adults, we need to be able to have that next step of, I'm really sorry that I bought you this shirt. I thought it was going to look great on you. And instead of totally embarrassing you all over social media.
You totally are. I'm sorry, this head is crooked. It's driving me crazy.
So, but I mean, in all seriousness, right? I'm sorry that I ignored your message today and didn't pick up dinner. I was really busy. That wasn't nice of me. I put myself first and I didn't even think to look, whatever the reason is. Right. But it's really important that you take the next step when you're apologizing to also say what you're apologizing for.
I agree 100% with that.
And take ownership and look back. Is that something that naturally happens? Are you comfortable with saying I'm sorry? If you're not, look through those or go back and think about which one of these 5 is the thing that you're most worried about. And instead of allowing that to be that pit in your stomach all day, to be nervous about it, to build up tension, right? You've built up the argument or you've built up the problem bigger than it really is.
Totally.
Instead, find a time that you guys can sit down together, you can talk about it, and you can share your true feelings. Because 90% of the time or 99% of the time, once you tell the person in a calm manner, you're sorry, and apologize for what you did, not trying to justify what you did, but truly apologize.
Huge distinction there is, are you really sorry? I'm really sorry, but I thought. That's not really an apology, is it? So the other thing is if you want to just take a look inside, if you're in a relationship, any kind, whether it's at work, friendship, kids, marriage like we are, and you don't hear the words, I'm sorry, then you might want to look when how do you receive that apology? Do you just accept it, level-headed, or does it cause an explosion? Well, I don't care if you're sorry. I'm still mad. You should have known better. You never ever should have done that. Like, so just make sure that how you receive the apology, goes along with the desired outcome that you're trying to get.
Right. And as this week goes on, we're going to be sharing with you guys a little bit more about that. But if you've never checked out the apology quiz, we're going to be sharing that this week from Dr. Gary Chapman. It's a great one, too.
Oh, boy. Jessica calling out Ken right on.
He's going as Mr.
That's almost
Krabs.
as bad as the shirt.
That's
no,
awesome.
Are you listening to this? I think it's about the apology.
Oh, yeah. But she also has pointed out what he's wearing. He's going as Mr. Krabs.
Oh, Mr. Krabs. Oh,
Mhm.
Gotcha. Oh, that's so much better.
Okay, listen. If you guys are like, what
Yeah.
are they talking about? They're going on a trip. It sounds like super fun. If you want to be able to go on a trip with other couples, don't worry. We have something really awesome coming up.
We do.
In January, it's going to be super fun, and it'll be a chance for you guys to get away with other couples.
Yes. Do we know how many are going to be able to go yet?
I think it's only going to be 20.
20? Oh, gosh.
It's like
How are
an
you gonna-
ultra-private resort in the Keys. It's an ultra-private resort in the Keys. They actually have their own, like, airplane runway, and you can only get there if you're a member or if you're having an event. And so
And
your
we're having
events
an
are only
event.
allowed to be certain sizes.
And this lady can plan events.
Lots of fun.
Not nonstop. Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
All right,
so let's
awesome.
Recap the
So
first
recap.
five. Yeah.
Recap. I'm sorry.
You guys are getting the full
what's
effect
going
today.
on tonight?
It's just one of those days.
All right.
It's okay. You don't have to be perfect.
That's right.
It doesn't show that you're weak. You can apologize.
Yeah.
Don't have to be
I'm sorry.
insecure.
But I said crap, everybody. All right, let's go. So
All right,
the
number
5 fears that make it impossible to say I'm sorry. Number 1, fear of being wrong.
Admission of guilt.
Mhm.
Yep. Number 2,
fear of being seen as
weak.
I hate
Great.
that one.
Number
Number
3,
three.
fear of retaliation. If I admit that I did that to you, it gives you license to do something to me.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, fear of loss.
Fear of loss.
This
Loss.
is a great one to talk about with your kids too.
Absolutely.
And number 5, fear
Were we on
of
5
not
already?
being
Okay.
perfect.
Yes. Number 5.
Right?
Not
No,
being
Karen,
perfect.
20 couples. Not 10.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
I probably
yeah.
said that wrong earlier.
Yeah, no, totally 20. But number 5, the feeling of not being perfect, like almost like a chink in the armor. It's like you have this fake persona of you're supposed to be perfect
Like fake book.
all the time. Oh yeah, fake book or fake evidence appearing real.
That's false evidence. Here.
No, I used it that way.
Oh.
You can apologize for
I'm
interrupting
sorry
me.
for interrupting.
All
I
right.
was helping you out.
You were helping me.
All right, guys.
We love you, Karen.
So that's it.
So that's it.
So
That's
I want
it
you
for
guys to
tonight.
go back though and think about those 5. Which one is the one that bothers you the most and makes it the hardest for you to say sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys say
Comment.
sorry often? Let us know.
Yeah.
And then also think about what Ryan said at the very end, which is if you don't hear sorry a lot in your home, is it also because of the way that you respond to sorry?
Right.
Right?
How
And
do you accept the apology?
I will say this just popped up in my head. I'm going to share it. So in Jack Canfield's book, Success Principles, one of my all-time favorite books. If you're looking for a good book to read, it's phenomenal. But in the very first chapter is all about taking responsibility. So this is important for whether you are talking to a 2-year-old or talking to a 89-year-old or 90-something-year-old,
Yes.
right? Like we have to learn how to take responsibility, and that is part of apologizing.
That is his number 1 success principle. Take 100% responsibility. So no matter where you are, no matter how people talk to you, how things are going in your life, the only person
Right. So true. It's
who
how you
controls
handle it.
is
Mhm.
you. That's it. Hi, Christy Dully, late to the party.
Yeah, go back and watch it. It was a good one. All right,
so,
guys.
yeah, Christy and Mariah are going to start a stand-up comic show.
Christy and Mariah.
Yeah. Mariah Stone.
Oh, yes.
Wouldn't that be great?
They would be great.
I know. Just straight hilarious, unfiltered.
I would love it.
All right,
guys.
awesome. Guys, have a great night. Wait, we always end because we are
Better
together.
together. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.